What if discipline wasn't a battle you had to fight, but a system you could design? Most people approach discipline as an act of sheer force. They see it as a test of character, a measure of how much suffering and deprivation they can willingly endure. This perspective paints discipline as a daily grinding war against a lazy, weaker version of yourself. A war fought in the trenches of willpower, where every healthy meal chosen over fast food, every early morning honored, every procrastinated task resisted, is a hard-won, exhausting victory. But this mindset is not only exhausting, it's fundamentally flawed. It misunderstands human psychology and sets you up for inevitable failure. Why? Because willpower is not a bottomless well of strength. It is a finite cognitive resource that depletes with every decision you make, every temptation you face, and every bit of stress you manage throughout the day. Relying on it as your primary strategy is like trying to heat your home by burning the furniture. It might work for a night, but soon you'll be left in the cold, surrounded by ashes. Stoic philosophy, in its profound practicality, offers a radically different and more intelligent path. The Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, were less interested in heroic acts of momentary will and far more focused on the architecture of a virtuous life. For them, true discipline, or enkrateia, self-mastery, wasn't about forcing correct action through gritted teeth and white-knuckled suffering. It was about the calm, intelligent engineering of your life so that correct action becomes the path of least resistance. It's about designing your environment, your routines, and your mindset so thoroughly that making the wise, healthy, productive choice feels almost automatic, the obvious, easy thing to do. When you reframe discipline this way, it ceases to be a mystical trait you're either born with or cursed without. It transforms into a practical, learnable skill, the skill of life design. Imagine your days no longer defined by internal conflict and negotiation, but flowing with a sense of intentional ease, where progress feels like a natural current carrying you forward, not a desperate swim against the tide of your own desires. If you're exhausted by the constant internal struggle and ready to build habits that actually last, you have come to the right place. To truly master this way of living, to make these principles a part of your daily reality, subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery. Consider it your first systematic commitment, a decision to replace endless struggle with intelligent, sustainable strategy. Let us begin the design process. Strategy 1. Build systems. Don't rely on willpower. The first and most pervasive error in pursuing discipline is the belief that it is an innate character trait. You look at a highly productive person and think, they are just disciplined, as if they possess a magical gene. You lack. You tell yourself stories. I'm just not a morning person, or I have no self-control around sweets. This framing is a cognitive trap, a defeatist myth that absolves you of agency. The Stoics saw the world differently. They observed that a person's behavior was less a reflection of some immutable inner essence and more a product of their environment, their routines, and the structures they inhabited. Discipline, therefore, is not a mysterious ingredient you must find within. It is a logical outcome you can engineer. Marcus Aurelius, in his private meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The profound, practical application of this insight for discipline is this. While you cannot always control the impulsive thought or the fleeting craving, the outside event within your own mind, you have absolute sovereign power to design the world in which that thought or craving must operate. Your goal should not be to become a stronger, more resilient wrestler who can endlessly grapple with temptation. Your goal should be to design the arena so skillfully that temptation isn't even allowed entry. You move the battle from the exhausting, uncertain realm of moment-by-moment choice to the calm, deliberate realm of pre-commitment and design. To understand this, think of your willpower not as a measure of your strength, but as a form of mental currency. Every single decision you make, from the minor, "What should I wear?" to the significant, "How should I approach this difficult conversation?" spends a little of this currency. This is known as decision fatigue. By the time your evening rolls around, after a long day of work, family, and life's myriad choices, your mental coffers are often bankrupt. To then rely on this depleted resource to choose a salad over pizza or to go for a run instead of collapsing on the couch is a tragically flawed strategy. You are essentially asking a soldier who has been fighting all day to win one final crucial battle with his last ounce of strength. It is poor tactics. The Stoic solution is elegantly simple. Build systems that make decisions for you in advance. A system in this context is a pre-committed rule, ritual, or environmental design that guides your behavior without requiring conscious deliberation or willpower in the moment. It is automation for your morality and goals. Let's make this concrete. If your aspiration is to read more books, the old willpower-based approach is to stare at your bookshelf at 10 p.m. and try to muster the motivation to read. The system-based approach is this. Every morning when you make your bed, you place the book you're currently reading on your pillow. The rule is non-negotiable. You cannot get into bed without moving the book. And when you move it, you read at least one page. The friction, the need to decide, to motivate yourself is eliminated. The decision was made hours ago by a calmer, more future-oriented version of yourself. The you at night simply executes the plan. Discipline becomes automatic because you have outsourced the choice from your tired present self to your wise past self. This is the essence of building a system. You are not fighting yourself. You are collaborating with yourself across time. Strategy 2. Engineer your environment for success. Your environment is the silent, relentless architect of your behavior. It whispers suggestions, creates friction, and opens doors all day long, often without your conscious awareness. You cannot consistently behave in a way that your physical and digital environment constantly contradicts. It is a law of human psychology. We adapt to our surroundings. If junk food is visible and accessible in your pantry, you are not in a simple state of choice. You are in a constant low-grade negotiation with yourself. Every time you open that cupboard, a small mental transaction occurs, draining your willpower reserves. If your smartphone is charging on your nightstand, you are not just placing a device nearby. You are programming distraction and stimulation into the very first and last moments of your conscious day. The Stoic principle at play here, championed by Epictetus, is to focus relentlessly on what is within your control. You may not be able to control the initial pang of craving for a sugary snack or the habitual itch to check your phone. Those are internal events, but you have 100% control over whether that craving has easy access to its target. This isn't a sign of weakness. It is the pinnacle of strategic intelligence. Epictetus would advise, don't exhaust yourself fighting the urge for distraction when you're trying to sleep. Instead, exercise the control you do have. Charge your phone in the kitchen. You haven't battled the impulse, you have simply removed its trigger. You've controlled the controllable. Therefore, the task is to become the engineer of your physical and digital spaces. Your mission is to make desirable behaviors inevitable and undesirable behaviors inconvenient. Want to practice guitar more? The old way is to promise yourself you'll practice. The engineered way is to never put the guitar in its case. Buy a stand and place it in the very center of your living space, where you will see it and physically navigate around it. It becomes a visual prompt and a frictionless opportunity. Want to stop the endless, mindless social media scroll? Uninstalling the apps from your phone is a powerful environmental tweak. Forcing yourself to use the browser version adds layers of friction, a slower load time, a less polished interface that make the habit less automatic and more intentional. You are not trying to become a person of iron will who can resist a streamlined app. You are designing friction for your vices and against your virtues. In this engineered world, discipline ceases to be a hard-won exception and becomes the default setting, the easiest path forward. Strategy 3. Start microscopically small. Here is a truth that derails more personal goals than any other. Ambition is often the enemy of consistency. When you set a grand, impressive goal like work out for an hour every single day, you are not setting a goal. You are writing a fantasy. This fantasy will inevitably collide with the non-negotiable reality of a tired body, a busy schedule, or a low motivation day. The first missed workout isn't seen as a minor setback. It's experienced as a catastrophic failure of the entire plan. The story becomes, "I failed, I can't do this," and the whole elaborate structure collapses. This is the all-or-nothing mindset, and it is the killer of lasting discipline. The Stoic antidote to this is brilliantly counterintuitive. Start so astonishingly small that success is virtually guaranteed. Seneca, who wrote extensively on the use of time and the importance of beginning, understood that all great endeavors are a series of linked, small actions. Your beginning, therefore, must be trivial, laughably trivial. Your goal is not to get fit. Your goal is to put on your workout shoes and step outside your door, or to do one single solitary push-up. Your goal is not to write a book. Your goal is to open a document and write one sentence. Your goal is not to meditate regularly. Your goal is to sit down and take one conscious breath. The mountain is climbed one deliberate, small, secure step at a time, not by a single, impossible, exhausting leap. Why does this microscopic approach work so powerfully? First, it focuses on the ritual and the identity, not the outcome. The real goal of doing one push-up isn't the muscular contraction. It's becoming the person who does their push-up every day without fail. That identity, I am someone who keeps my commitments to myself, no matter how small, is psychologically transformative. It builds self-trust, the foundational currency of discipline. Second, it masters the physics of momentum. The hardest part of any action is overcoming the initial inertia of rest. Starting is the primary battle. A microscopic task eliminates the resistance to starting because it requires almost no effort. And once you've started, you've done that one push-up, a beautiful thing often happens. Momentum takes over. One push-up feels so easy you might do 5. One sentence flows into a paragraph. You are not aiming for a monumental result today. You are making a strategic investment in the compound interest of a flawless, unbroken streak. This is how you build not just a habit, but unshakable confidence in your own agency. Strategy 4. Replace, don't erase. The human brain is a problem-solving organ, and it does not respond well to voids or vague prohibitions. Simply telling yourself, "Stop procrastinating," or "Don't eat sugar," creates a behavioral and psychological vacuum. And as the old principle states, nature abhors a vacuum. Your mind will rush to fill that empty space, that unstructured time or unmet need, with the most familiar, well-worn, and comfortable behavior, the very habit you're trying to break. This is why sheer suppression so often leads to explosive relapse. The smarter, more Stoic-aligned approach is strategic substitution. Instead of trying to violently delete a bad habit, a negative fighting energy, focus on the positive act of cultivating a better, more virtuous habit designed to occupy the same niche. the same time of day, the same physical location, or to meet the same underlying emotional or psychological need. You are not declaring war on an enemy. You are calmly evicting a troublesome tenant and installing a better one. This requires a moment of compassionate inquiry. You must ask, what is this bad habit genuinely doing for me? What need is it fulfilling? Is your late-night Instagram scroll actually providing a sense of mindless relaxation and distraction from the day's thoughts? If so, replace it with a different, more nourishing ritual for unwinding. A simple, gentle stretching routine for 5 minutes, or reading a few pages of a compelling fiction novel. Is your afternoon candy bar run really about hunger, or is it an attempt to combat an energy slump and find a moment of comfort? Replace it with the ritual of brewing a cup of green tea and taking 10 slow, deep breaths by a window. You are not depriving yourself. You are upgrading the quality of your coping mechanism. This masterfully reframes the entire concept of discipline. It is no longer an act of denial, of saying no to yourself. It becomes an act of skillful self-care and conscious choice. You are not building a dam against a powerful river which will eventually burst. You are the wise engineer who redirects the river's flow into a more productive channel. Strategy 5. Make laziness difficult. This strategy is the brilliant, active flip side of engineering your environment for success. Often, without realizing it, we unconsciously design our world for maximum laziness and instant gratification. The television remote sits prominently on the coffee table. The bag of chips is open on the counter. The icon for the most distracting website on your computer is right there on your dock or desktop. We remove all friction from the paths of least resistance. The strategic move is to consciously, deliberately flip this script. Actively design friction for the behaviors you wish to avoid. This is the practice of pre-commitment raised to an art form. If you find yourself wasting hours on a particular website, don't just try to resist. Install a website blocker that requires a 30-character password to disable, and then write that password down on a piece of paper and leave it in your car's glove compartment. The moment of temptation now requires you to put on shoes, go outside, get in the car, and retrieve the code. That is powerful friction. If you snack mindlessly while watching television, establish a new household rule. Food and drink may only be consumed while seated at the kitchen or dining room table. The simple act of having to pause your show, get up, and move to another room creates enough of a speed bump to make you conscious of the action. You are not using raw willpower to resist in the moment of weakness. You are using foresight to make the unwanted action require more effort, more steps, and more conscious thought than your lazier self is typically willing to expend. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In this context, you make laziness and distraction the impediment. By adding even a small, deliberate speed bump to your bad habits, you engage your prefrontal cortex, the rational, planning, future-oriented part of your brain, rather than your limbic system, the impulsive, craving, I want it now center. The lazier, more impulsive part of you is notoriously lazy. It will often surrender at the first sign of inconvenience. Your job is to use that knowledge to your own strategic advantage. Make the wrong path just a little bit bumpy, and the right path will suddenly look much smoother. Strategy 6. Prioritize unbroken consistency over perfect performance. This is the master strategy, the overarching philosophy that binds all the others together. Our culture, particularly through social media, worships the narrative of the dramatic overnight transformation, the incredible 30-day body makeover, the genius novel written in a month. Stoicism, in its timeless wisdom, worships something far more potent and sustainable: the unwavering, unbroken line. Perfectionism is not the ally of discipline. It is its most insidious killer. The moment you miss one scheduled workout, eat one forbidden food, or skip one day of your writing practice, the perfectionist script in your head screams, "You've failed. The streak is broken. You've ruined it. You might as well quit entirely." This binary thinking, perfect or worthless, has destroyed more personal progress than any lack of talent or opportunity. You must learn to violently, consciously reject this narrative. Discipline is not a theatrical performance to be rated by critics. It is a private, lifelong practice to be maintained, like brushing your teeth or tending a garden. A missed day is not a moral failure. It is neutral data. It is feedback. It is a single data point inviting you to examine your system. Was the habit still too large? Was your environment not supportive enough that day? Did you not account for an unexpected stressor? You adjust the system calmly, and you resume the practice immediately. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, but with the very next opportunity. The ultimate goal is not a flawless, photogenic month. The goal is to practice the habit more days than not, forever. A chain is strongest not when it has never been stressed, but when its links have been tested and occasionally repaired. A chain of consistency with a few minor mended links is infinitely stronger and more useful than a short, perfect, brittle chain that snaps under the first real pressure and is never fixed. The master has failed, adjusted, and persisted more times than the beginner has even dared to try. Your mental focus must undergo a seismic shift, from the distant, intimidating grandeur of the goal to the immediate, manageable integrity of the daily process. The only question you need to ask yourself each day is, did I show up for my tiny, non-negotiable commitment today? That is it. Did you lace up your shoes? Did you write your one sentence? Did you place the book on your pillow? This unwavering focus on the daily ritual, not the far-off summit, is what, over weeks and months and years, forges an ironclad character. It produces astonishing results, not through heroic bursts, but through the relentless, quiet power of the compound effect. Small, non-negotiable actions, repeated consistently, are the most powerful force in the universe of personal development. Through the Stoic lens, discipline is redefined. It is the ultimate expression of self-respect. It is not self-punishment. It is the thoughtful, loving design of a life that your future self will look back on with profound gratitude. It is the calm, intelligent arrangement of your outer world to nurture and protect your inner growth and peace. If this systematic, strategic approach to self-mastery resonates with you, if you are ready to lay down the arms in your internal willpower war and pick up the tools of an architect, then your first systematic step is clear. Like this video, let this simple action be a small, deliberate signal to yourself and to this community that you are committing to this new path of intelligent design, and to ensure you have the ongoing guidance and community to continue building this strategic Stoic mindset. Make sure you are subscribed to Stoic Mindset Mastery. Remember, the goal is to stop fighting yourself. The goal is to start designing your life. The real power was never hidden in the struggle. It was always waiting in the system you had yet to build. Begin that construction today.